Day 1. Spend your first day organizing all of your notes and materials. Make an outline of all your study materials. Make sure you don't have any notes missing. If you do have notes missing, ask a student in your class to borrow theirs or ask your professor. Once your notes are organized, study important material first. For example, anything your professor emphasized in class or stated would be on the test, any highlighted material, etc. So on day 1, organize your notes and materials, and then study the most important material. Day 2. Spend day 2 reviewing material emphasized only in lectures. Anytime you were in the classroom for a lecture, study all of this material, including notes you took, PowerPoints, and handouts. So on day 2, only study lecture materials. Day 3. On day 3, only study textbook material. Any required readings in this class should be reviewed on this day. Any chapters that were discussed for the class should be reviewed on this day. So on day 3, only study textbook material. Day 4. On day 4, combine the lecture and textbook material you studied on days 2 and 3. Review all of this material together and make connections between your notes and your textbooks. If you find that you have questions, ask your professor immediately. So on day 4, review all material. Day 5. On day 5, repeat day 2 by only reviewing your lecture notes. Remember, it is important to switch up the material you study each day. You should not study the same material every day, but switch between lecture notes and textbook materials while studying for an exam. So on day 5, only review your lecture notes. Day 6. On day 6, repeat day 3 by only reviewing textbook materials. Once again, it is important to switch up your studying technique and focus on different material each day. So, on day 6, only review textbook materials. Day 7. On day 7, repeat day 4 by reviewing all of your study material. This day, you should look at both your lecture notes and textbook materials. Spend extra time focusing on areas you have had trouble understanding throughout your study process. At this point, you should be including all related material that should be reviewed for your test. So on day 7, you should review all materials for the test. Once you have completed your 7-day study plan, you are ready for your exam, but there are some things you should consider on exam day. You need at least 6 hours of sleep the night before your exam. Do not stay up all night studying for your test. You need to rest and relax your brain before you test it. Also, make sure you eat breakfast or lunch before your exam, but do not eat on a full stomach. Think of your body as a car. Can a car run without fuel? No, and neither can you. So don't eat directly before an exam. Remember how your family told you not to swim for at least 30 minutes after you've eaten? Well, think of test taking the same way. Do not take a test on a full stomach, because your body is busy breaking down the food and your body will be tired, whether you know it or not. And finally, think positively. Do not go into an exam thinking you're going to fail, because you probably will if you believe you will. Instead, go into the exam believing you are going to do well because you spent the last 7 days preparing for it and you know the material. Be confident. It will help you succeed. Another common thought among college students is that if they fail their first test, they will step it up for the next one. In all honesty, this hardly ever happens. If you fail the first test, it is an immediate sign you need to seek instruction from your professor or a tutor. Consult with your professor if you are having problems with the course, and especially if you fail a test. Remember, the better you do on each test, the less hard you will have to work to keep your grade up. Before you are finished with this workshop, you should check out the Student Success Center website for more information on study strategies or other skills. We have several handouts that give you more detail about different study strategies that are useful to you and will ensure success at EIU. This concludes the Better Grades in Less Time workshop by the Student Success Center. If you have any questions about test-taking skills or other skills, please contact the Student Success Center at 581-6696 or stop by for a one-on-one appointment with one of our staff in 9th Street Hall. Also, check out any of our other podcasts while you're here. Good luck on your journey to success. Thank you.